Nothing in pop culture safe. Wizard casting truth bombs. Mob bring in the fire. When the heart takes head, you're in the culture crossfire. Wizard spells, monsters roar, breaking down the culture war. When the fandom flames rise higher, you're caught up in the crossfire. In the fandom flame, crossfire climb. Nothing in pop culture safe. Wizard casting truth bombs. Mob bring in the fire. When the heart takes hit, you're in the culture crossfire. You're caught up in the crossfire.
Oh, we are back. It is Monday night. It is time for Culture Crossfire. My name is Marvin Movie Monster Montanero, and I am joined by the real-life fake wizard.
Hi, I'm the real-life fake wizard. Welcome to Culture Crossfire.
You are the real-life fake wizard. This is indeed Culture Crossfire. This is our Monday night weekly shenanigans where we examine the crossfire of the culture, as we would probably put it. Last week, great show. We had the one and only Dean Cain as our guest last week. If you have not checked that out, guys, you should go check that out. But Wizard, how has the last week treated you?
It has been very interesting, man. I mean, the topics we're going to get into are pretty, I would say, important. I think the culture is truly changing, Marv. I think with a couple of things we're going to get into, like we're starting to hit a new threshold. Things are changing, but I don't think they're changing for the better. I think the people that are defending, I would say corporations, right, to keep it a little more loose-ended, right? The people that are defending corporations are realizing that they need to find new and unique ways to defend themselves. And that is becoming difficult.
Well, I mean, it's so funny because, like, you see, like the Supergirl shills and whatnot, the James Gunn shills. I always look at those accounts and I look to check the little info thing, like everything DCU, and it's like marketed as being from Washington DC. And I look at it and it's location South Asia.
Yep,
every time.
India, South Asia. I've seen some in. Not many in Europe, really. I've seen some in like South America, but it's never America. But it's addressed to Americans. It's addressed to the West, whether it be America or parts of Europe or Canada.
Well, they want to get that sweet X money, that X engagement money. Which, by the way, like you make nothing on a monetized X account. I mean nothing.
I can confirm that. That is true.
Yeah, you could have millions upon millions of views. You'll get $30. So.
It's something. But hey, but what's crazy is we find out that all of these accounts, these like bot farm accounts, they're running many channels. So for them, it is like they're running controlled opposition for all sides. So they're just stoking the crossfire, and they're profiting on it.
Oh my goodness. And by the way, in the last week, we have not talked to each other since this has happened, but Supergirl came out and we had to see it.
I'm still in therapy. I haven't finished. Not that he ever really finished, right? But it's what a time.
It was insane because not only did we get Supergirl this week, we also got Natla, Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I don't know which one's worse.
Oh no, Avatar is worse. Avatar.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna be talking all.
We're gonna get into it, man. Avatar is offensively bad at every level. I'm trying not to black pill over having watched 6 episodes of the 7 episodes of this pile of crap show.
Right. Yeah, I was watching the what do you call it? I've been watching House of the Dragon for the last week also. You know what? I think I kind of unfairly gave up on that show in season 2. It's pretty good actually.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to do it. I can't. After Game of Thrones ended, dude,
Yep,
I'm done with Westeros.
I have a really hard time investing in anything Westeros, especially in this show, because they're like, Aegon called it the Song of Ice and Fire, the prince that was promised. I'm like, it's nothing!
Yeah, it means nothing.
It means nothing. Your
means
prince
nothing.
that was promised gets pinned down by a dragon while his little sister kills the Night King. That's how it ends.
Yeah. The all roads lead to Rey Skywalker, right?
It's exactly
all roads lead. Yes, all roads lead to Bran on the throne.
All roads lead to Bran on the throne, unless you're continuing afterward, in which case there's no more Iron Throne, so you can't even get the iconic imagery of that anymore. I guess Bran doesn't. I was about to say, I wonder what kind of throne Bran has, but then I'm realizing he's always in it.
He's already in one.
Yeah,
he's already in one.
Well, like, if you think about it, it was like a pretty decent idea, because like they saved so much they didn't have to build a new throne, because he's just he's got a mobile one.
He's got a mobile throne. Yeah, he's little Hot Wheels.
Maybe they can melt some swords onto it. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
They could. They definitely could. They've got the money.
House of the Dragon, though, like George R.R. Martin reportedly like wants nothing to do with it. Like he completely walked away from it, threw his hands up.
I think he's gonna make his money and he's done. He'll go and work on projects as a consultant, like Elden Ring and the From Software games or video games. Like he'll do consultation, but I don't see him ever publishing a book again conventionally. Mm-hmm. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, probably not.
I think he's taking it to the grave.
This is never happening. I think that the ending that we got was very similar to the ending that he had. And he saw how deeply unpopular it was, and so now he's like, oh no, now what do I do?
He wanted to start writing these morally gray characters and set up all of these plot points, these big mystery boxes that needed to have big reveals. But if they're not good, and then you made people wait, and every day that ticks by that fans are still waiting for this book to come out, the expectations continue to grow. You're just never going to hit it. He would be better off not releasing it and also like in his will making it clear no one could ever continue it. Like no one could publish the sequel book. Like you can't Brandon Sanderson this where have somebody take over like Wheel of Time.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. The it's funny with him though, because like he wrote all these morally gray characters, and who is the one character that has become more popular than any of them? The one that's not morally gray. Sir Duncan the Tall in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, everyone the one that everybody loves? Because
everyone universally loves him, and he is not morally gray. He is not complicated. He's just a good dude. And I think that's really fascinating.
Yeah. There is something there. Which I've been working all day on a video project discussing like morally gray and the values of heroism, right? And what's really funny is the people that write morally gray, I wouldn't put George R.R. Martin in this category. I think he's figured out ways to tell better morally gray stories, obviously. But most Hollywood writers, they lean on morally gray as not just a storytelling medium, but as almost a religious standpoint. They believe that people are inherently morally gray. And so that's what they're writing from. And I think that is so dangerous. And what's really funny about that, and we're going to get into it with Supergirl, when you write morally gray characters, you are unknowingly still writing about virtues of good and evil.
Right.
You're still doing it.
The one people that write about the morally great characters, though, I always am reminded of the same thing. What were you trying to prove? That deep down, everyone's as ugly as you. Like that's like we're done with aspirational characters in this world now. We are just firmly on the path of the morally gray anti-hero, you know, character that makes you question everything about yourself. But we got some super chats to get to, so let's get to the chat, Wizard.
Let's get some people. Hello, people.
Hello, people. You and Cumia, member for 21 months over on my channel, says that James Gunn should feel a lot of shame. He feels not 1 ounce of shame, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I would put money down that he thinks this movie is the greatest thing that's ever happened, and if you don't like it, you're the problem. That has kind of always been the James Gunn. Like James, we're gonna get into it when we talk about the movie, because I have this theory, and I'm working on a video about it right now that should probably be releasing tomorrow. That the reason nothing is changing is because James Gunn cannot. James Gunn has no desire to alter his plans whatsoever, because he's doing it for him and he's still entertained.
They don't feel shame, but they know that this didn't hit as hard as they wanted to. They know
that, but I don't think that they're like, we did something wrong. I think they feel like the audience failed them.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll when we get into the topic, we'll really get into that. But absolutely.
Yeah. You and Cumi also for the 199 says hit like and subscribe. Please do. That's great advice. Wizard over on your channel.
Mark Fields for a 199 says, keep it up, good sirs. Positive vibes. Thank you, Mark.
And then on my channel, Mark Fields with another 199. He says, have a great night and positive vibes. To you as well, sir.
Thank you.
Juliet for £2 says, evening Culture Crossfire and chat. Good evening to you as well, Juliet. And then over on your channel, Wizard.
Spectre for a $10 says, Wizard, you really need to make a video investigating Rare LTD. They abandoned their legacy franchises, have enabled some horrible things to occur in their community, not what we grew up with.
I didn't know they were even still around.
Well, they are owned by Microsoft now, and that's the problem. Microsoft bought out. I'm pretty sure they actually own Rare, the company. They bought all of the IP, problem. That's for sure.
Anything Microsoft buys gets ideologically tainted.
I mean, the amount of, when you think of how many franchises Rare has, that if they were to make those games today, they would make money. Not hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, but those games don't need to be hundreds of millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. The Banjo-Kazooie franchise, Viva Pinata. I joke about it all the time, but those games were fun. You know, that would bring back Viva Pinata, bring back Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark did not need to be a, $500 million debacle. You could have just made a Perfect Dark game like GoldenEye was, like Perfect Dark was. People would have bought it.
Right.
But that's just more corporate nonsense. But yes, very good recommendation. Thank you for that.
Yep. Let's see. We got Uncultured Barbarian checking in. Haven't seen him in a while for $5. Says, came home from work on a Sunday and watched Superman Batman Apocalypse. A much better Supergirl story. Oh, makes me want to write my own stuff even more. Yes, that is such a good story.
It is such a good movie. Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Mark? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I own it. I own a physical copy of it.
It's so good.
It's tremendous. Basically, it is the story of Kara Zor-El coming to Earth, being found by both Superman and Batman. And Darkseid takes her to make her one of his femme furies. And it's great. I mean, you even had Ed Asner playing Granny Goodness again.
Yeah.
What a great choice.
It made me, seeing Supergirl made me miss that movie. Mm-hmm. Although I would also say seeing Supergirl made me miss things like Man of Steel and the Snyderverse. Like I was missing the Snyderverse. I was missing Superman 2025, Marv.
Me too.
It was a year ago and it was bad then. And I was missing that. This movie made me miss James Gunn, and James Gunn was all over this. That's how bad.
How can I miss you if you don't go away?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, but it's like I was almost like, man, maybe James Gunn should have written and directed this too.
I mean, he basically did. I mean, the director has already kind of come out and said that like the big terrible needle drop at the end of the movie was a James Gunn decision, and I thought that was his way of saying, "Hey guys, James Gunn made a lot of the decisions in this movie."
This movie was a pile of garbage.
It was James Gunn garbage. I mean, like that's why I don't understand why you think this was anything other than a movie written and directed by James Gunn, because if the puppet does it, the puppet master is still the one who did it.
Fair enough.
Emo-lennial for $4.99. So started watching your streams, Marv. Thank you very much. Seeing a bunch of people who on there who wasn't Wizard made me feel like the "Who Are You" people scene from SpongeBob. I hope you ended up liking them all, even Lauren and Trish. on Culture Barbarian for 5 in the Piper voices. That's not Creme of the Yellow Hills. That's Tony Atlas. And he says Glom Gold will approve. I'll give you a Glom Gold on that one, buddy.
Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold! Glom Gold!
Yeah, it's an old wrestling clip where this guy, Tony Atlas, big black dude, they repackaged him as Saba Simba, and he was an African now. and so he comes out and he's like dancing in the aisles and like doing his like war dance and stuff like that. And Roddy Piper is sitting on commentary with Vince McMahon, and Vince is like, Saba Simba, straight from Africa, come into the ring. And Roddy Piper, live on the air, just goes, that's not Saba Simba, that's Tony Atlas. And so we always, usually it has to be a black guy for it to work. Like it used to be like with my friends and I, like if somebody fell in the dirt, we'd be like, that's not Scott, that's Tony Atlas. You and Kiwi for 199 says, is Supergirl worse than Cats? Nothing is worse than Cats. Unless Ian McKellen,
I don't know, man.
Unless Ian McKellen pops up and starts drinking a saucer of milk with his tongue, then no.
We're reaching new levels of bad every week, Marv. This year has been brutal. We've had some awesome movies and lots of garbage.
Like it's like the glass ceiling never gets broken, but like the stone floor keeps shattering. We just keep falling further and further from level to level, to the point where like when we're dealing with like the schlock of this summer and it makes us nostalgic for the schlock of last summer.
Like yeah. It keeps getting worse, man.
Yeah, no, that's insane to me.
And it's not going to change. It's not, it's not going to get better.
No, I've given up any hope that it's going to get better, but don't worry, guys. We'll be here to call it out. 02RR for the 199 says, good feathers are birds Marv is actually okay with. Well, yeah, they're good feathers. So, they flock together. Emo-lennial for 199 says, the Carol song won't leave my head. Marv, what did you do to me? Usually the song that I listen to when a song can't leave my head is the Carol song.
This is my Carol song. It is 8 seconds long.
But I think I have one that might actually help you, Millennial.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people, too.
You've seen that commercial, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Oh, my goodness. I got to jump ahead over on your channel.
Yeah, Archimedes for a Red Boy banger, $100 for the beard. I hope this is the end of my break from YouTube. I hope all is well. Well, Archimedes, all is well.
I was wondering where Archimedes had gotten to.
Yeah. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. Well,
you know what? Archimedes, we will play a clip for you for that, and we will play. You know what? Enjoy Hulk Hogan driving by a dog being thrown into a lake.
This world will beat you down, beat you with a stick.
Not the dog.
The guy's like, they're letting Hulk Hogan make movies now? I have to drown you. You can't live in this world anymore. Oh, thank you, Archimedes. Over on your channel.
King Too Tall for a 2 says, hail chat, hi you panel. Just showing support. King Too Tall. Thank you. Good to see you out there.
And also from you.
And Norm Al Man for a 5 says, Avatar is a franchise that never should have been. Avatar: The Last Airbender was lightning in a bottle series and has been horribly managed ever since.
And horribly managed by its own creators.
Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone involved has horribly managed this series.
Well, I mean, and it's a case of like, you talk about the supposedly, woke mind virus. I know you don't like to use that word, but you talk about when ideology becomes more important than everything. That's what happened with Avatar. It was a perfect series. It was 3 seasons of perfection. And then Korra came along and they were suddenly like, now we get to say something about the state of the world. And
there's something, we'll get into the topic in just a minute, but it's The Netflix series is trying to remake perfection, and you cannot do that. And
Well,
you're
I
also
mean-
trying to replace perfection. They're remaking and replacing perfection.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about that. But before that, we've got to, for some reason, talk about Supergirl because that's what people want to hear about right now. So we're going to talk more about it. So, Wizard, without any further ado, it's time to get to the culture. Supergirl has hit theaters, and oh boy, do people not like it, folks. Supergirl has received very little money, and it's received a whole lot of bad reviews. Let's talk about it today in the Crossfire. Wizard, this is a bomb on an atrocious level. You see I have up here criticlist.com, where you should follow me at Marvin Montanaro. You know, it's got a 26% score over there. I personally gave it a 10 because I gave it a 1 out of 10. This is, I think, the worst superhero movie ever made.
I think it's definitely up there with one of the worst. I don't know what else to compare it to say, oh, well, that's worse than this.
Well, I start to worry about like recency when it comes to like recency bias when it comes to saying that, because like I think about it like I'm trying to think of like I remember the Marvels saying like, well, this is bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I thought that Supergirl was going to be bad, but I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as it is. The same thing with the Flash. Like the Flash, I knew was going to be bad, but the Michael Keaton scenes are actually still kind of cool, and I could go back and watch some of the Michael Keaton action sequences again and get some enjoyment out of that. There is nothing that I can watch from this movie again to ever get enjoyment ever again, ever for the rest of my life, ever.
This movie, I'm at a point of nearly blackpilling after seeing Supergirl. Blackpilling, not about everything, but about a very specific kind of discussion. And we talk about it here. We talk about it on the Pro Show. On other shows, we do videos about these things. This film crosses every possible category of being bad for different reasons. You know, the crapping on Superman, the what does a hero stand for, the positioning of, oh, well, she's a hero. No, she's an anti-hero. No, she's a hero, but she's a self-indulgent, she's a murderer. Selfish murderer. She's a murderer.
Yeah.
We could talk about how the actual design of the film is poorly done. We could talk about how the actual fight scenes are terrible. The CGI is terrible. The acting is not that good. The villain is representative of the patriot. Every single facet of this film is bad. And the reason I say black pill on top of that is because, Marv, they won. They won. This isn't making money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because they're still getting Man of Tomorrow. The Ellison deal is not finalized yet, which means nobody has the ability to say, hey, James, you're done. He still has a contract. They're still going to fulfill that. Nobody's willing to pull the plug on this. No one's willing to make any hard decisions. They're going to let it continue onward. And even if James Gunn was fired tomorrow, even if him and Peter Safran were shown the door, do you know what? They still have won. Because for the people that have seen this movie, Supergirl, Superman, Lobo, all these characters have now been tainted. People are seeing this and being like, I guess, so Supergirl's a killer, huh? Because they're not going back and reading the
Supergirl's a murderous drunk.
Murderous, belligerent drunk. The people are not looking to the past. They are not looking to, what are the original stories here? They are just, people are seeing this and saying this is fact. People are looking at James Gunn's Superman and saying, that's Superman. The normies, we're losing. The culture war is over, Marv. The culture war is over. Every single week this month, June of 2026, every week this month, we are on here talking about a film that undermines the character to some extent, and normies are slurping it up like it's normal and okay. Every week.
Do you think they're slurping it up, though? Because, like, to me, I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, nobody's seeing this movie.
But the ones that are think it's normal.
True. But I mean, like, you cannot, like, this is not a sustainable business model to keep losing this much money. This is going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
I don't think they've been losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Disney has lost hundreds of millions of dollars on these things. I don't know where it ends or if it ever ends.
James Gunn's contract is up right, I think, after Man of Tomorrow. after that releases. So we're getting Man of Tomorrow regardless. But by that point in time, if the Ellison deal is not done by then, I can only assume that they will maybe give a temporary extension because they are not going to allow, like with a merger like that, they're not going to approve a new contract for this guy. I seriously don't think that'll happen. But yeah, man, this was just so bad. It was so aggressively bad and vindictive. Like, it felt like it existed specifically like to do harm. Like, and you know what's so weird is that the Hollywood Access Media is for some reason allowed to be honest about this.
I mean, they're saying they're being a little honest about the story, but then they're running defense for Millie Alcock.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh, well, she was great in it.
The way that I know that they got marching orders is because everyone's saying the same thing. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
well, the movie's terrible, but Millie Alcock's great. I'm like, in what universe was she great in this?
I thought she was terrible.
She's awful. She's
Yeah,
awful because the script is awful. And it's not like Henry Cavill and David Cornsweet had awful scripts, but they were able to kind of rise above those bad scripts by just kind of being good at what they were
being
doing.
good actors.
Yeah.
David Cornsweet's a good actor.
She never rises above the page. She is just wading through the muck of this nonsense script and written by Anna Nogueira, who is just like the hack of all hacks. Like, this woman has got no major credits to her name, and she was hired to write a Supergirl movie, a Wonder Woman movie, and a Teen Titans movie. And you gotta wonder if maybe it's because, like, she's such a young, inexperienced writer that she'll just do whatever James Gunn says to do.
I can't even begin to speculate on how any of that makes any sense at all. I really don't understand it. You know, maybe somebody in the industry could better define it or explain it. But as a fan and, you know, a marketing guy with a marketing background, a corporate marketing background, I look at this and I'm like, I don't understand what it is you think you're doing. So I have to think either you're so stupid that you don't know what you're doing and you're just stumbling through mistakes, which I don't think that's really what's going on here. I think that this is a level of these people are so full of themselves. They think that they're correct in this approach that they don't care if people see it or not. They believe in this so much, and it's not a political thing per se. I don't even know if it's an ideology thing per se, although that's a whole different conversation because there is a plenty amount of ideology built into this.
Oh, this is intersectional feminism, the movie.
The movie, yeah. But I do think that there is just a level of absolute hubris about the creation of these films, the creation of these projects. And I think you're right. James Gunn is all over this. He signed off on all of this, and there's just no other way to look at it because how does this ship in the way that it ships? Marv, I was sitting in the theater remembering, and I've seen other people say this too, but I was sitting in this theater remembering other scenes from other movies that this movie is trying to emulate, and I'm thinking, oh, it was better in the other thing.
Right.
The whole time on the bus. We're on the bus because we got time to be on the bus, the travel bus, and they keep showing us all the different ugly aliens on the bus. I'm like, oh, this is the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yes, every planet has a Mos Eisley's Cantina on it. The one thing that every planet they go to has is a bar, the same bar on different planets, and every planet is dreary and has only one location, and that location is very minimalistic. Sometimes it's just one person's house. It is absolutely insane how little effort, how little imagination went into this. How they stop at Space Bucky's at the one point to eat the alien food. Now, you know what? No, that is actually unfair to Bucky's. It's Space 7-Eleven.
It's unfair to Bucky's. It's Space 7. Yes.
Yeah, like so she can get her alien poop popcorn and then make the joke about how it tastes like shit. And then I couldn't believe they made that joke. Everyone who came at me about that and was like, "It's not crap, it's eggs. She's eating eggs." I'm like, "No,
it's poop." In Supergirl 2026, you will see Supergirl projectile vomit, urinate, fall asleep while urinating,
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
eat poo, and then another character eats the same poo. Both of which confirm that it is indeed poo. And I don't know, man.
And Seth Rogen will show up.
Oh,
Just when you think it can't get worse, Seth Rogen shows up. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, I started looking around the theater for Ashton Kutcher. I was like, am I being punked? If like Pedro and Rachel Zegler had walked out next, it would have just been like the perfect storm.
that's really funny because at that point you're like, oh, okay, I'm in hell. I've died. I'm in hell. This is hell. Where this is a nightmare experience. And they don't, and that's the joke. That's the joke. Hey, Seth Rogen. Here's Seth Rogen's voice. Isn't it funny? I'm like, I hope he gets squished. Squish this little alien, please. This little Men in Black alien.
He didn't. He will return. Yeah, they're all Men in Black aliens. It's not even like Guardians of the Galaxy like aliens. Though, I mean, the villains, you got to give it to the villains, though, because, like, they were like, hey, you know what people really loved in Guardians 2 was Taserface. So, like, what if you had a whole gang of Taserface for the whole movie?
Yep.
Because they're all Taserface. Every single one of them is Taserface.
It's a movie of taser faces. The villains, I mean, look, there is something to be said about the villains that it is as if whatever her name is, the writer, scrolled on TikTok for about 5 years and then wrote down all of the worst possible virtues that men could have, the worst possible fantasy virtues or morals that men could have, and then assigned that to these pirates.
I'm sure somewhere in the 25 minutes that was cut, one of them pees on a toilet seat.
Yeah, that would do it. Okay, so that I want to get into that with you because I think that's an interesting discussion. This movie has a problem with good and evil, right? It's they make a big point about, be good, Superman. That's her parents give her the Jor-El, the original Superman, go be good, be a hero.
We double down on Clark being sent to Earth to conquer it. But then at the same time, her parents give her the Marlon Brando speech.
Yes.
They only need the light to show them the way. For this purpose above all, their capacity for good, I have sent them you, my only son, I mean daughter.
Which, I mean, look, put that, if we're to put that aside for for a second, the movie still has a problem with understanding what good means. So they say it's an assertion, be good, Supergirl. But then throughout the entire film, from start to credits, she doesn't embody any kind of goodness at all.
Right. You know what?
It's as if the lines spoken by her parents are there as if to deflect anybody that might criticize her for not being good.
Right. Correct. You know what? Really, like, somebody said it and it was like sound of glass breaking in my head, was like, there's this alien infrastructure in space where, like, they're literally taking buses from planet to planet. You're telling me no one on Krypton had the bus?
I have no idea, man. I don't. So not only were there survivors from Krypton that moved to a floating planet, Kryptonite is completely bastardized for this.
Look, there's nothing that makes me angrier with the writer of any super family book or movie or TV show than people who just lean on Kryptonite because they don't know what else to do. I mean, when they brought in the Green Sun, which, yes, I know it's in the comic, guys, there are bad comics.
There's bad comics. There's lots of bad comics.
Yeah. Like, there's a comic book about Harley Quinn fighting crime with her farts. I'm pretty sure if that was on the screen, we wouldn't like it. Well, some of us might for the wrong reasons, but
some of these, hey, there's a lot of weirdos out there, man.
There is.
The people who wrote that book are.
Of course they are. That book is written for one reason and one reason alone. For
specific folks, yeah.
Yes. But so I mean, look, there was a Superman book where Lois Lane turned herself into a black woman.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, there's a lot. See, that's the fun part about comic books. Some of them are incredible. I mean, I'd say a handful of them are incredible, and then there's a lot of trash. There's a lot of trash. And the reason you keep sifting through the trash is because you're waiting to get to the incredible ones again. So you suffer the garbage you suffer the slop to get to the good stuff. Not every comic book throughout all of time has been good.
A
lot of garbage.
Happened. Yeah. But man, there was that. There was like the space infrastructure apparently never reached Krypton. But Kara still knows everything about everyone in space. Like she knew who Lobo was. Yes. She, it's and I'm like, well, okay, you lived the first, however many years of your life on a floating city, to which I'm like, why can't you send out an SOS and have someone come save you from the floating city? If the floating city can protect you from the vacuum of space and seemingly solar radiation, why can't it also then protect you from the kryptonite? Like, there's so many ridiculous things in this. There's so many plot holes. And then in the end, they take the ending of the terrible Tom King book and they change that somehow for the worst.
It's as if the writer didn't understand what the original ending was. That the book is terrible. And here, Marv, I can't believe we're here. A week ago, I would have said you're crazy if we were going to be sitting here saying, hey, the Tom King book was better.
The Tom King book is very much better.
And that's a pile of crap, too.
It is. It is. Tom King is a hack. His books are complete garbage. And somehow, some way, this is worse.
Yes. Yes. So, if we look at, like I was saying with the bad guys, right? We look at the bad guys, we look at the Krypton story, we look at the fact that there is no good or bad, right? Or the way that they speak about good, but they don't actually embody good throughout the film. Well, what's really interesting about that is if we dig deeper into it, right? It's because Hollywood doesn't believe in good or evil anymore. They believe everything is morally gray, so everything is positioned as morally gray. This Kara Danvers is an anti-hero, you guys. She's an anti-hero. She's like the Joker or Deadpool. She's an anti-hero. And so that brings us to this, where it's like, well, wait a minute. You don't believe in good or bad, but your villain is the most caricaturized version of evil you could have possibly written. And therefore, because there is no characterization to Clem of the brigands, he's just pure evil, which then means that evil exists in the canon of this story.
Carol brought it up in her review on that Park Place, where she was just like, you're telling me that Clem kills the little girl's father and whole family, and then just leaves her standing there when like girls her age are like the thing that they traffic in, like that's their currency essentially. Like, and there's no other there is, and I add this in, there is a little line in there about like, oh, the cells are full up. Like, no, that's a load of crap. Like, you left her there because she has to come back later in the story.
They left her there for convenience. Also, why is Clem there, or Krem, whatever? His stupid ass character.
I like you calling him Clem.
Why is Clem there? I'm just going to use it. Why is he there? He's there to collect the weapons. So not only does he leave her alive, he leaves Ruthie alive, but he also leaves her holding one of the weapons that he came to this house for.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how Gary kept calling them her innocent and honorable family, because she keeps saying that line.
Yeah, but then they played that up where it was a gag. Like in the movie, they thought it was funny for her to keep saying my innocent and honorable family, because Kara like mimics it as if like my innocent and honorable family.
How about when she shows up at the bar to get people to help her innocent and honorable family?
Wait, which time at the bar? Because there's many times at
the first bar. When she first shows up and the big hippopotamus looking thing steals her sword under a red sun, and then Kara, with no powers, proceeds to go outside and beat the shit out of this thing.
Yeah, with
Like-
depowered.
No powers. Just a
Drunk
normal
off her
girl,
ass.
5'2", drunk off her ass, 110 pounds, soaking wet. Not only does she like handily defeat this thing and knock it unconscious, she also eats a punch from it and laughs.
Oh, I'm bleeding.
Yeah, one punch and you're dead. From something that size. I'm dead from one punch from that. And I'm considerably larger than she is.
There is no redeemable anything from Supergirl 2026.
Nothing.
And that
Not even Lobo, because like they even managed to like make Lobo unenjoyable too, because like they have him doing some weird character voice instead of just being Jason Momoa.
I thought Lobo was boring.
He's only in it for like 5 minutes, and he's the most wildly inconsistent character in the entire thing. He shows up, and they're like, "This is the guy who like destroyed his whole planet," and blah blah blah. And then he's in a jail cell. How? Why? We don't know.
All right, I have to pull up my notes because I took notes through the movie, and
Oh, I did too. Let me pull up mine.
Because here's what I wrote during the movie: the worst introduction for Lobo possible. And it was, because it was just, oh, see him, that guy over there? That's Lobo. He killed his whole planet. He's extremely dangerous. Don't mess with him. And that's literally the cadence of it. Like, that's the delivery of, that's Lobo over there. Don't talk to him. How do you know that that's Lobo?
They had to nerf him because he's called the main man. So we gotta nerf that. We gotta nerf that. How about the fact that they only say Supergirl one time in the entire thing, and it's to have that conversation. The conversation that occurs in all
Supergirl.
How come he's Superman, but you're Supergirl? Because she's supposed to be 15.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a kid.
She's supposed to be a teenager, but you all want her to be either a sloppy drunk or a sex symbol, whether it's this or the CW, so you aged her up.
Yep. Yeah.
Stupid idiot. Like, good Lord. I would rather watch Wonder Woman 84 than watch this again.
I don't know what I would rather do, but I really, this movie was hard to.
I would rather watch Joker Folie à Deux again.
You know what, Marv? What makes it worse is I went from Supergirl, and then that was Wednesday of last week. And so processing how bad that was, there was a come down period, and then it went into Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We'll get into that. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit, but it's man, we can't catch a break on bad.
Let's look at how this movie did, because it did absolutely terrible. Supergirl crashes at the box office worse than The Flash, The Marvels, Joker 2, and Wizard, even Snow White.
This movie made me miss Snow White, dude. Snow White is a better movie than this.
It is. It is. At least I can laugh at Gal Gadot trying to sing. After weeks of declining projections,
Snow White had better messaging. Even Snow White had better messaging with the communist utopia.
Supergirl debuted with just $38 million domestically, finishing well behind Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5, which remained the #1 movie in North America with a second weekend haul of approximately $70 million. The film also opened to a dismal $30 million internationally for a global take of just $68 million. Apparently, when the actuals come out, this will be lower. I believe the domestic is probably about $1 million lower, but I think the international is about $5 million off. I think it's going to be $25 million from what I saw.
Yeah.
So this will actually be a global haul of about $62 million, which is just wildly insane. So when you look, The Flash debuted at $55 million domestically before becoming one of the biggest financial disappointments in history. Joker Folie à Deux came out to right around the same thing and was then a massive commercial failure. The Marvels opened to $47 million, and this came out $9 million lower. And Snow White debuted at $42.2 million domestically and $87.3 million worldwide, meaning James Gunn's latest DC film failed to match the launch of Snow White.
I miss Snow White, dude.
The new well, because we've been saying Millie Alcock is the new Rachel Zegler. So
The
I
new
guess
Rachel Zegler, yeah.
the new Snow White is more effective than the old Snow White. When you look at the way this movie did, I mean, just literally nobody gave it the time of day.
Even and maybe I'm out of line here, but even the Tom Cruise The Mummy movie did better than this.
Probably
And that
did.
was supposed to that was supposed to springboard that franchise, the Dark Universe. And like these mega franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was saying the Dark Universe has had a better rollout than the DC Universe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The DC Universe, man, it's everything that is trying to be this ultimate universe, and we're gonna do this over here, we're gonna do this over here, and then Booster Gold, and we're gonna have the Waller TV show, the Amanda Waller TV show on HBO. It's
just what I need.
just-
Viola Davis and Kumail Nanjiani is exactly what I need in my life right now with this DC universe. Don't make him do sit-ups though for the role because he'll cry.
Yeah, he'll complain. Can't they just do one good movie? Just do one. Just get one good one, and don't do a big do one that it's a beginning and an ending, and then it's good. And then it's like, hey, well, we wanted to do sequels, but don't pad your sequels into your first film or your previous films, right? Just do good movies, and then continue onwards from there and see where it goes. But everything is trying to be bigger than it needs to be. And that same thing with Supergirl. Even though it doesn't have Man of Tomorrow directly in it, this is very much still a setup for something else to come.
So my dad was talking to me about like his comedy special he saw, and I eventually realized he's telling me I have to see it, and I eventually realized he's talking about Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh no.
And I'm trying to not be like he's a woke turd and I hate him and never want to see him in anything ever again. So like I'm trying to find like something to say like, oh yeah, like he's like, you know who that guy is? I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh yeah, you like him, right? And I'm like, he's a carbon-based life form. Like he's just like he is an immediate turn. James Gunn makes the worst decision every single time, which actually makes him perfect for Warner Brothers, a studio that consistently makes the very worst decision it could possibly make at all times.
I don't. Okay, so we look at all this and we look and it's like, all right, everything is terrible, none of it's working. But you know what? And further is it again? They're just going to keep making more.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, Marv. This Supergirl movie was not made for you or me or our families or our spouses or anybody it's not made for you at home. It's not made for you in the chat, in the comments. This movie was made for two types of people. One of them is James Gunn. That is number one. That is numero uno. The second person is your children. Marv, this movie is made for your children. This movie was made just like Superman 2025. These films are made to hijack and emotionally manipulate how your children feel about these characters. And that is how every major movie has been this summer. It is how all of the television shows are going. It was the same thing last summer and the summer before that. All of these remakes are framed as being adaptations. And I would put this in the same boat. This is an adaptation, but it's also a remake. It's a remake of Woman of Tomorrow. Woman of Tomorrow was a remake adaptation of previous Supergirl stories. But the problem is now is they're not meant to be faithful adaptations to honor the source material, the character, or the legacy of the original creators. They are there to replace what was. Supergirl is there to replace how people feel about Superman and Supergirl.
Right. It was made for Angry Joe, as Chef Eddie points out.
Okay.
He didn't even like it.
Got you. Third person. And it's made for Angry Joe. Shout out to Angry Joe, friend of the channel.
Friend of the channel.
He
you see
attacked me
here,
on Twitter. I've never spoken to him. He came after me too.
what did he come after you about?
He came after me about my tweets on Toy Story.
Oh,
He exploded, and then people were like, he got no likes, and people were like, Joe, you need to settle down. I didn't even need to respond.
Friend of the channel. But this is interesting. Pro wrote this on that Parkway. Say Superman failed with surprising audience groups. American women and Chinese audiences did not go see this.
Can you blame them?
So in China, opened about $1 million. Many say it was actually much lower. IMAX for China was only 250K. That's effectively just an utter rejection from the market. Apparently, they're going to just be dropping it. But then when you look at the actual demographics, it was mostly men in the older demographics who went. According to Box Office Pro's domestic demographic breakdown, men over 25 were the largest segment at 41% of ticket sales. Women under 25, which is probably who this movie was made for, accounted for 15%. The Wrap reported 59% of the opening weekend audience was male, 65% was over 25, concluding that young women simply didn't show up. That's insane.
What was the incentive for young women to see this?
But now and here's a really interesting thing though, because Peter Safran actually did a thing that studios don't do. He admitted that it's a flop.
Yeah, he did.
But he added a qualifier. Speaking to the New York Times, which we'll get into more of that in a second, says, while Supergirl didn't meet our box office expectations, it's just one component of a broader long-term strategy at DC Studios that we remain confident in. AKA, yes, this failed. No, we're not changing a damn thing.
So let's break that down even further, because there's two ways to look at that statement. On one hand, it's everything you just said. We're not changing anything. We're staying the course. The other side is, well, maybe he's lying. You know, maybe they're nervous. Maybe they got him on the ropes and they know things are bad and they're nervous about the Ellisons and they're just trying to save face. No, I think it's everything, Marv, you just said. They don't care. They don't care. It's business as usual. It's a Monday. We're making movies.
If David Ellison wants to really like endear himself to the public, he needs to be like, what were they thinking? Could you imagine if he came out and said that?
I don't think he cares about the public.
I
don't think David Ellison gives a crap about the public at all.
That's also true. I love people who are like, well, why hasn't David Ellison gotten rid of Kirkman yet? I'm like, because he doesn't own Warner Brothers or no. Oh wait, no, Kirkman he can't. When they say about Gunn, why hasn't he gotten rid of Gunn yet? Why hasn't he gotten rid of Gunn yet? And I'm like, oh, because he can't. Kurtzman he could 100% get rid of, and he hasn't. Which
he hasn't yet. And I think he's trying to give padding. He needs to let
why play these people's game?
Because so it has to. There's actual contract laws about this. If he was to fire Kurtzman now, before his term is up, because Kurtzman still has at least Starfleet Academy 2, which is coming out soon. They might even push it out this year to just get it over with and get it done, which means we would have had 2 Starfleet Academy seasons in 1 year, which is that is the current rumor.
Put it all
is
out
to
at
just
the same
dump
time.
it and get rid of it.
Yeah,
is to get rid of it.
All episodes at launch. There you go.
They can't fire him publicly. They can't say anything bad about him because it has to do with some kind of a disparagement clause in the contract.
Ugh.
Because Kurtzman would be able to turn around and say, well, wait a minute, wait, I'm suing you, Paramount, because how am I supposed to get work again after you said I was bad? You disparaged me, and I was responsible for all this money. So that's really what it is. It's all laws. It's all legals.
Hold on. So like if somebody like calls a reference that I gave for a job and the reference is mean about it, I could sue them because they're disparaging me. Like
it's part of the contracts that they sign when they come on to do the big projects. So if you had a no disparagement clause in your previous employment, then yeah, you could say, hey, you're not allowed to say bad things about me.
What a horrifically pussified thing that only happens in Hollywood.
I hate this industry.
It really is a terrible industry.
But it is the worst of the worst because not only are these people terrible people, like they're just really bad people. They're
Right.
really selfish. They're really not nice. They loathe the audience that they're writing for.
Mm-hmm.
But they've rigged the system, and I really think that we're reaching a point here where what they're doing to the stories and to the heroes and to the characters is putting them into positions that there is no coming back from. We've reached a place where remember okay, as a Harry Potter fan, which is better, the movie or the book?
The book.
Okay. We're at a point now, Marv, where people aren't reading the book. People, the normies are not going back to the source material. They are on their phones. They are watching what's on screens, and they're saying that's fact. They're saying they're going to watch the upcoming Harry Potter show, and they're going to say, I understand J.K. Rowling. They're watching Rings of Power and saying, I understand what Tolkien wanted. We're broken. We're a broken society.
Yeah.
We're cooked. I don't know what to do.
The thing that I highlighted here, Wizard, a broader long-term strategy at DC Studios that we remain confident in. I wanted to hyper focus on that for a second because
Okay.
what specifically are they confident in? They have not had a single win yet. Creature Commandos came and went with nothing. Nobody watched it. Nobody heard of it. Most people that are listening right now probably don't even know that Creature Commandos existed, let alone that it was the
What's
first
Creature
thing.
Commandos?
Exactly.
I got to scratch my noggin for that one.
Exactly. Then Superman came out. And Superman was, look, a lot of people like that Superman movie, whatever. It lost money. I will believe Ted Sarandos speaking under oath to the federal government over Peter Safran lying in an interview about Superman making money. When Netflix was buying Warner Brothers, they had access to all the books, and they were doing interviews with the federal government for antitrust scrutiny. And Ted Sarandos brought up Superman as an example of a movie that loses money at the box office. It lost money. Period. End.
It lost money.
I'm sorry if that's inconvenient to your narrative. It lost money. It did. Peacemaker.
There's only one person that we know that cares about that narrative.
No, there's more than that. Trust me. I've gotten screamed at by many a Superman defender. Peacemaker was never charted on Nielsen. Nobody watched it. Nobody liked it. Peacemaker was putrid garbage. It was political hackery. It was an excuse for James Gunn to sit in a director's chair in the corner of the room and watch John Cena bang his wife.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think this Yahtzee world is all that different from our world. No, it is. It is.
It's extremely different.
Because in our world, you're allowed to be a fat black lesbian whose mother has one of the highest roles in government.
In government. In all of world government.
Like, shut the hell up.
All of world government. Amanda Waller is ridiculously powerful.
When they're talking about Earth X and the Yahtzees, and I apologize for having to say Yahtzee, but this is YouTube, so we have to talk like kindergartners.
We can't.
When she's talking to little Gasian guy, and they're having that conversation, she goes, Jesus Christ, and he goes, him they love, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that is just pure James Gunn being James Gunn. Peacemaker is what he wants everything to be, because that it is him at his like James Gunniest. All right, so all of those are flops. This is the worst flop of them all. Lanterns is going to be, everyone already hates Lanterns unless it really turns it around and people really end up liking it and it looks completely different than what we've already seen. Lanterns is going to be awful. The only thing that they have a chance at, Wizard, at possibly being a success, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is Clayface.
Oh. I don't want to do it, man. I'm when does Lanterns premiere?
I think it's next month. Or August.
No.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming. That's weekly too, so we're gonna have to like talk about it every week.
No. I'm gonna have. We gotta watch it for our show. I'm gonna have to watch it for Friday Night Tights. I don't want to do it, man. I would skip it. I would. Oh no, it's gonna be worse than The Acolyte. It's going to be worse than The Acolyte.
Oh yeah, I think so too. But honestly, Clayface is a low budget horror movie. that actually has a chance.
Okay, yes, it does. It's gonna be. I see the chat August 16th. Oh shit.
But then again, Wizard, this is major studio tries to do low budget horror, so it'll probably be terrible.
Okay, so Clayface is likely going to be dog poo. Okay, it's going to be dog poo. Why? Because when you do horror and you do like the low budget stuff, people get really creative. Clayface is corporatized bogus nonsense, robbing the original, robbing this version of the story from the animated series, which is what we're going to compare it back to. Batman the Animated Series with the Clayface episodes. That's what this is. This is an adaptation of one of the greatest animated series of all time.
Yep.
Okay. It is not going to be good.
No, I'm probably not. But I'm just saying, like, the horror audience will show up for body horror stuff, but it depends. I really don't know. The other thing is if they actually manage to sneak Batman into it, which I don't think they're going to do. And again, I will say, I do. There has only they have made so many Batman properties without Batman in it, and there's only been one good one, and that was Penguin.
I think, but that's because Batman exists in the world. Mm-hmm. We know that Batman is present. He's just not on screen right now. Whereas all these other shows that are Batman less, they feel
Pennyworth.
Empty. They feel hollow. Yes.
Pennyworth, Gotham, Titans, where Batman does exist, but you eventually see Bruce Wayne and he's Jorah Mormont. But
or Gotham Knights.
Gotham
no
Knights.
Batman. He's dead.
I forgot about that.
Batwoman.
Joker. Batwoman, Joker Faliade.
Yep. The two Jokers.
Yep.
Enough. I think what we're going to get, because they need to get butts in seats, you're going to get the Batman silhouette. But it's going to be the equivalent of how Superman showed up in the Shazam movie. Where it's just the body standing there, and you cut his head off, so we don't have to hire Henry Cavill.
You want to know why the Penguin worked? Because you introduced him in a Batman movie, and you spun it off into its own thing. That's doable. If you introduce Robin in Batman, and then spin him off into a Robin movie or a Nightwing movie or a Batgirl movie or whatever, that's fine. But like when you try to do these things without involving Batman, it's terrible.
Well, I think there's also something to be said about who's the one doing the spinning off, because if it's a James Gunn-led project, it's going to be a pile of crap. The Matt Reeves verse, the Penguin is okay. The Penguin is pretty good.
Penguin's an amazing show.
I should say, sucks watching week to week.
Yes. It is a way better binge show.
It is dog crap watching that show week to week. If you binge it like I did, you're having a great time. You're going to have an awesome time.
I watched it week to week. It was definitely like challenging, but I loved the show.
Hell no, dude. Hell no. I hate weekly model.
So when you look at when you look at what James Gunn said about scripts, where he was like, well, this got made second because the script was so good. The script is the one thing that everyone universally hates. Again, this is why I think James Gunn mostly wrote this script, and this lady just put her name on it, because he was talking about how great the script was, and it's objectively a terrible script.
It is objectively terrible, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I think that... But then he said, like, oh, we're not going to make it if the script's not good. At first, I said to a friend of mine, I said, how bad must this Batman, is it Brave and the Bold is the Damian movie?
Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, I said, how bad must this Batman Brave and the Bold movie be if the script has not yet been, like, completed and turned in? And then I thought about it, and I said, oh, wait. I bet you the Brave and the Bold script is excellent, and it's a Batman movie, and that's what he hates. That's why it can't get greenlit, because he doesn't like Batman. He's made no bones about the fact that he doesn't like Batman.
Yeah.
He is 100%, said that Batman is boring. He has bashed Michael Keaton as Batman. He does not like Batman. And he's probably being given good Batman scripts and turning them back in because he doesn't want to make a Batman movie. Or he
It's
he
the
wants to
same-
filter it through his image. There's not a single
the
needle drop
same-
in here. This is crap.
We need to get the middle. We got to get pop songs in here. Get the pop songs in here. It's the same problem with Blade over at Marvel. It's the same problem with a whole bunch of Marvel movies. Why can't you just make a Blade movie? Why can't you just make a Batman movie? Why can't you just make a Superman movie?
Blade is even better, though, because with Blade, Kevin Feige actually said, well, it's not just going to be a movie of him in a trench coat killing vampires. And everybody was like, why the hell not?
Why not?
What's wrong with that?
And you could do that for less money. You don't need to spend $1 billion to make a vampire hunter movie.
Nope, not at all.
But that's it, man. That's the problem.
So
they hate the properties they're writing for.
So why did this fail, Wizard? That's the big question. That's the question on everybody's mind. Why did this fail?
Well,
the New York Times
marketing
knows.
was terrible.
Well, I think the New York Times has a good answer for us. The New York Times blames misogyny after Supergirl crashes at the box office. From geeksandgamers.com. While DC Studios is attempting to explain away the disappointing debut as one setback in a broader long-term strategy, the New York Times has offered a different explanation, suggesting that misogyny among superhero fans may be partly responsible for the weak performance of Supergirl and all female-led superhero movies. In an article examining the overall opening weekend, the newspaper wrote, female-led superhero movies have been rejected almost uniformly over the past 5 years or so, perhaps reflecting a resurgent misogyny among the core fan base, which is largely male. It then goes on to state, first of all, this movie right here does away with that entire narrative. Everyone loved this movie. The first Wonder Woman movie, not 84. 84 was crap. Paper also wrote, before its release, Supergirl became caught up in a now familiar cycle of online abuse, with some fanboys attacking Millie Alcock's casting and appearance. That's because Millie Alcock attacked them, but we'll get into that. Warner Bros. Executives said they were surprised by both the ferocity of the backlash and its reach, believing the culture had evolved past that sort of campaign. What about Snow White makes you think that that the culture has evolved past that sort of thing? That they're now just perfectly fine with being attacked?
Marv, I think this is marching orders. I think this is this positioning of it's the men's fault that Supergirl's tanking.
Men, the only demographic that went to see it.
They're the only people that went to see the movie.
The only ones that went to see the Marvels too.
I mean, this is the reverse of the Charlie's Angels problem. Men, this movie's not for men. Why aren't men going to see the movie? Okay.
Yep.
I mean, this is just like the reverse of that. This is a movie for. Oh my gosh, you had it on. You had it on trigger finger.
I always have this one.
Perfect.
This is real, guys. This is real. A little over a month apart.
And written by the same person.
Yep.
Well, we're in the same boat. Marv, if you want to pull up here what I just shared, here we go. This is a Substack here. Supergirl didn't fall. She burned up entering the manosphere. How toxic content creators have ruined comic movie fandom. Now, we're not going to read this whole thing. Supergirl opened this weekend to disastrous box office numbers, but its fate was sealed long before that, and it has very little to do with the quality of the film or the performance of its cast. If it was good, people would have gone to see it.
These are all like Gary's thumbnails. There, I think there's a drinker. I think there's a drinker one in there too. They're really giving them a lot of credit. Like, I know plenty of people that have never even heard.
Shout out to Jester Bell. She's awesome. She does good content. She's up there.
Mm-hmm.
This is because there's nothing else for that. Because, Marv, these people refuse to discuss the merits of the film, and that is the only thing that we all talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do we talk? I mean, okay. Do we talk about Millie Alcock saying stupid crap all the time? Yeah, okay, we do. But after seeing the film, we can go scene by scene and line by line and talk about what worked and didn't work. We can break this thing down. We could dissect this thing. And these people refuse to do that, either because they think it's all hunky-dory fine because their emotions were tickled, or because they refuse to do it because they'll lose access. Even though this machine is losing it's losing hundreds of millions of dollars, and it is a machine, they're still afraid of losing access. So they're pandering and lying to their people. They're pandering and lying to their audiences.
Yep.
And
look,
and
the
therefore,
shills, Warner Brothers makes no bones about the fact that it will give whatever shills want. Like there were people doing positive out of the preview influencer Supergirl reviews on social media who were literally holding their Warner Brothers gift bag with all the merchandise in it that they were getting.
Yes, and then the caption is like, the movie wasn't good.
Yeah, I do like when that blew up in their face. So yeah, guys, there you go. Supergirl, abysmal failure. It is not, look, it's not anyone's fault but James Gunn and the creative team and the actors and everyone involved with making the movie. It's just not a good movie. And at the end of the day, that's a thing that periodically happens. But Wizard, we've got to get back to the chat because we've been ignoring the chat for too long.
Let's do it.
All right.
I mean, let's check in with the chat. But before we get to our next topic, there is one thing I want to talk about off key with Supergirl. But yeah, let's get to the people.
G-Man. Oh, this is on your channel.
Oh, G-Man for a 5. James Gunn projects are like my mom's green bean casserole on Thanksgiving. He's cooking things only he likes for himself. That's great. G-Man, thank you. That's very funny. That's a good one.
E-Millennial for $4.99 says the biggest crime in the movie was that awful cover of The Middle. Jimmy Eat World are massive influences to emo, and they botched that song horrifically.
Horrifically, they did. It was terrible.
It's got to be sung by women if it's in this movie.
It just takes some time. It's terrible. It was like, are you kidding me?
But Wizard, girls get it done.
Girl, they got it done all right.
Just so you guys know, whenever a girl power thing comes out, and Wizard and I are like texting about it, one of us will inevitably write in all caps, "Girls get it done."
It's either that or I'm losing my mind.
Chef Eddie from Remember for 14 Months is in the next movie. She puts pink kryptonite in Clark's drink so they can go clubbing, and Clark picks up Luthor and Peacemaker. Oof.
Oh no! Don't put that past James Gunn.
I wouldn't put it past him. Okay, so you wanted to check out this? Here.
Yeah. So we're not going to play this. Shout out to Mr. Grizzy here.
Oh no!
But man, yes. So there's a content creators here who resolves with wanting to slap. You see that?
He wants to slap you.
He wants to slap Gary. Look at that. We're not going to play it because this fella does a little swearing. Yeah. See that slap right there? He wants to give Gary a slap.
Give him the old slap-a-rooney.
Give him the old slap.
This guy looks.
It is like a South Park meme.
This guy look. Gary's not a big guy, and this guy looks like he would break if Gary laid a finger on him.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah. So this is FNT attacked by angry woke Supergirl fan. There's something to be said when I see myself appear in other people's posts and I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on here? And then like now it's because of Friday Night Tights. I'm still not used to that. I don't think I ever will be, but it's like, did they target me on this too? And then lo and behold, they didn't. But yeah, here you go. This fella wants to give Gary a slap.
He wants to give. I'm gonna slap you.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of
I'm going slap happy.
I'm gonna slap you. slap.
Slappity slap.
Anyway.
What are you looking at, Robertson? What are you looking at, Ryan Kittle?
You're gonna get slapped talking like that.
You're gonna get slapped, wizard. Who says? What man says they want to slap another man?
Yeah, and with the gesture too is great. Like, and to have it slow mo, like slap.
By the way, like look at the slow mo is like the limp wrist with the slap.
Oh yeah, it's the perfect combination. It's the perfect combo. Yes, I wanted to shout this out. This happened today. Shout out to Mr. Grizzy for catching this. I don't know how you do it. I can't watch these people, but Grizzy, man, catches all this stuff.
I never watch this kind of crap. It's absolutely terrible. I may never recover from this.
Oh man, shout out to Gary.
Slap. I'm gonna slap you.
Oh, isn't it funny? There is like, just go straight to violence.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, they all go straight to violence.
Straight to.
I have never heard me or you or Drinker or Jay or Gary or Jeremy or anyone ever say that they wanted to commit violence on another person over their opinions on these things.
Yeah, man, it's a mess.
All right. Well, speaking of messes, we've got one more mess to talk about. You ready to talk about this mess?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through it, but let's give it a shot.
All right. Oh, look, Steph's in the audience.
Hey, Steph.
She says they have no good arguments, so they name call and shift to violence. Yep, 100%. 100%.
There's a straight line from them being triggered and then going immediately to violence.
I wouldn't call it a straight line when it comes to that guy and his slapping.
Hey.
Hey. All right, Wizard. We have got to talk about one last thing, and it's a doozy. So without any further ado, let's get us back to the culture. Netflix has come out with its live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and oof. Let's talk about it today in the Crossfire. Wizard, I can't believe that I suffered through this and Supergirl in the same week. It might be the single darkest week in human history. This was an affront to there's 35-year-old Toph you see right there in the header image here. You watched it after I did, so when you were texting me in all caps and just utterly disgusted at what you were seeing, I was able to kind of commiserate and nod along because I had watched the whole thing by that point. I mean, it is as bad as the first season was. This might be worse. Now, the first season, for those of you that didn't see it, they did really stupid things like Aang never learns waterbending in the first scene.
Yes.
In the first season,
look, Season one. Okay, so let me recap real quick where I'm at on this show.
Right.
I did not watch season one, but after seeing a lot of the clips on Twitter, because I love the original animated series so much, I'm done with season 3 ending in 2008. I am done with Avatar. I love it too much to let anything else ruin how I feel about it. But because everybody was bugging out on Twitter, I'm like, you know what? My brother and I were both super fans. I'm like, let's watch it so we can review it proper. Mm-hmm. We started with the final episode of season 1 yesterday and then watched right into season 2. We had to keep pausing the first episode. It took us over an hour and a half to get through the first episode because we had to keep pausing to discuss what was happening on screen. Marv, this show is worse than The Acolyte.
It's up there. It certainly is. Oh my goodness. Look, there are so many horrific moments in this. There are moments where it is just pure unadulterated cringe. You know what? I'm gonna play one for you real quick. It's just a very brief clip. I mean, this one. Do you remember in the animated series when Appa gets taken?
I very much do.
In the desert, and Aang's just like poignant rage and sorrow at losing Appa. All right, well, let's have a look at how that happens in this version. First of all, it happens in Ba Sing Se, not in the desert. They don't go to the desert. But here you go.
Where's Appa? Appa? Where are you, buddy? Appa?
Appa!
Appa!
Feel Appa?
No, some people came and they took him.
Took him where?
I don't know. I was
Took him where?
Look, I tried to stop them.
Here we go.
No.
Abba! Abba! So bad. This kid is awful. He gives me Henry from Once Upon a Time vibes, and not in a good way. Because like Henry, when he was a
Henry was
kid,
endearing. Yes.
when he was a kid, he was a good kid actor. And I thought this kid
Yes.
was fine in the first season. But then he gets older and becomes like an older teen, and like his balls drop and like he has a deeper voice. And now, but the acting never gets any better.
Appa!
Appa! Where's Appa?
Okay.
Appa!
Look right down the barrel of the lens of the camera, too.
Yep, as if the camera took Appa.
The viewer, you, the audience, took Appa.
So
Okay.
There's one moment though, Wizard, that was, I think, the cringiest moment ever. Well, first, okay, so they inject drama in here in ways that there's never supposed to be drama. There's this cringy scene where Aang is just a complete and total dick to everyone. When he's like yelling at Katara for being the painted lady. Like that scene was ridiculously stupid, but this is the worst scene in the entire thing. When Toph Beifong invents metal bending, and then says, "I'm Toph Beifong, and I invented metal bending." This was the moment where I was like, "This show is written in finger paint." Like, hold on. Let's.
I'm Toph Beifong, and I invented metal bending.
What? First of all, the metal bending looks ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I could animate that better in ChatGPT.
Marv, this show is an affront to creativity. This is all right. Okay, so let me try to set the stage better here. So my brother and I spent a lot of time in between watching this and trying to figure out. I literally said to him, "Was I wrong about One Piece? Were we wrong about the Netflix One Piece? Is it slop? Do I have to reframe how I perceive?" Like how like the diehard anime fans perceive the One Piece Netflix show. And he says, no, the difference here, and my brother is a diehard One Piece anime fan, much more than I am. And he says, no, the difference here is that the One Piece anime show is taking the real world and bringing it into the anime world. This pile of garbage is trying to take the cartoon world and drag its carcass into the real world, and that's why it's terrible.
Yep.
That's why it's awful.
The original creator is involved in One Piece. One more time.
I'm Toph Beifong, and I invented metal bending.
Oh my gosh.
I went back to watch the original cartoon scene, and she does not say that. She says, "I am the greatest earthbender in the world. You two losers can," or something or other. Like, she says I'm the greatest earthbender in the world in this also. But, oh my goodness. First of all, so they actually, I was 100% certain that whoever played Toph in this was going to be blind. For real.
I was too.
There's no way, there would have been no way to do it.
You couldn't get it.
You could never in a million years could you teach a blind person to do like that kind of martial arts and hit those marks. Like, never. Just like Daredevil can never be an actual blind person. But she did have a blindness coordinator, Wizard. And the blindness coordinator did an entire featurette for Netflix about how important Toph is. And that was it. She said, "And don't you two losers forget it," after she said, "I'm the greatest earthbender in the world." So the blindness coordinator said, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, repeat this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He goes, "I think this is really important because little blind kids will really be able to see themselves in Toph.
We have reached levels of the Ouroboros that's been eating itself for the last 15 years is starving. We have
to, unironically said, will be able to see themselves
as one does.
As
one does. And shout out to, well, you know what's also really good is how every iteration of blind people in media has to be that they actually have sonar vision.
Oh yeah,
don't you love that, Marv?
Yeah, because blind they want to talk about ableism and stuff like that, but every capable blind person is has like a superpower where they can actually see. Never mind the fact that they bring Toph into the spirit world where she can't bend, but she can still see.
Oh, hey, that's because she actually can see, Marv.
And how many times in this season also do they talk about her blindness and talk about how it's not a disability?
Oh, they have to keep reaffirming it.
Yep, 100% to keep reaffirming.
They have to keep reaffirming it.
The one line though that I love that they kept from the cartoon was when they were in the cask and Sokka goes, "I can't see anything," and Toph goes, "How horrifying." That's directly from the cartoon, and that was funny.
So there's something to be said. The Toph performance in this, the girl is too old. She doesn't feel like Toph. She might be dressed like Toph. That's something I'll give them credit on. I think the costuming, department and the design department, they're doing their best here. But Toph, the actress here, and she is trying, but she's too old. Toph is supposed to be a young girl.
Toph's supposed to be like
all
12.
of the kids.
She's
the kids are supposed to. Yeah, she's supposed to be like a tomboy little girl.
Aang is what? Isn't Aang like 11?
Yeah.
Because it all takes place in a year, and Toph is about his age, so she's like 11 or 12. She's played by a 19-year-old in this.
These are meant to be children, and none of them appear as children.
Aang did in the first season, but then they waited way too long to make the second season.
And by the time, by the time they actually get the final season out, he's going to be he's going to be 21.
I'm actually surprised I'm surprised Kata hated this as much as he did, because there are so many gratuitous foot shots in this.
There's a lot of feet. Yeah, well, Kata's a man of he wants good stories.
Yep.
He'll call out when stories are bad.
Yeah.
Look, this show.
Okay, King Darius, by the way, said Aang is 12 years old at this point. They're 112, yeah. So Toph is about the same, 12.
This Netflix live action show, Marv, is meant to replace the animated series for normies.
Yep.
It is for the people that come home from work and they have no interest in watching stupid cartoons. I'm not interested in stupid cartoons. And so that's who this show is made for. But that also means that now the normie people that watch this are going to think that this is fact, that they have gotten the full Avatar experience. And the reality of that is this is a pile of dog poop. This is bad. It is but it's offensively bad. Everything about this show is bad. All right, now I got to pull up because I sent you a bunch of texts about this part. I was like, if we look at Uncle Iroh, character assassinated. People are like Uncle Iroh, and everybody can complain about the show, but Iroh is being performed great. Is he? Because he's playing it off like he's an American dad. It's an American dad, whereas Uncle Iroh to Zuko is meant to be like a grandfather. They're supposed to feel like there's a gap in the age there.
Yeah.
And here they play it off as it's a
I will
surrogate
say,
father-son relationship.
Iroh, well, they nerf Iroh, unfortunately, because they took away they took away that first fight with Azula and Zuko, where when she first tries to use the lightning and Iroh just steps in front of her, grabs her by the fingers, redirects the lightning, and then kicks her off the boat. Like
Yes.
that
Yes.
was a thing we
Oh.
needed to see, and we didn't see it.
They nerfed Iroh in combat. They've nerfed Iroh in story, and and I think the biggest one, Marv, and this one's big. They nerfed Leaves from the Vine,
They did.
big time. And I'd like to explain what that means
Please,
is for
please.
those who don't know. So Uncle Iroh is meant to be kind of a grandfatherly figure to everybody. He happens to be from the side of the bad guys, but he himself is not a bad guy. He's more like a Yoda, where he's a mentor and he wants the best for Prince Zuko, who is a struggling antagonist through most of the series.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be take care
Zuko,
of his family.
In the original 3 animated series, right? Zuko's redemption arc, one of the best in history.
It is one of the best in fiction. Yes, it is that good. It is that good, and they where it's not going to be good for season 3. It's not going to be good. Okay, so why is that important? Well, okay, so with Uncle Iroh, he's like this sweet old man who just happens to be on the opposition, and that's all of season 1. And you're like, I love Uncle Iroh. He's he says funny things sometimes, and
he just wants
offers wisdom.
Yeah, he wants to drink tea and play his games and eat barbecue, and I get it.
Well, but we know in season 1 of the animation that there is something tragic about this guy. And then we get into season 2 and we're like, well, we kind of no, there's definitely something tragic there, and that's kind of informed on his relationship with Zuko, who is his nephew, and why he's so emotionally attached to his nephew. Well, there's an episode that explains that, and it's the Leaves from the Vine episode, where we find out that Iroh's son was a soldier that died in the battle that Iroh was commanding, and it is because of that that Iroh basically lost. They lost the war, and then he lost the throne because of it.
Yep.
Because of that devastation, and so his life has been kind of a living hell since that moment. But he still has hope in his. It's a beautiful thing. The loss of life, the loss of family, the loss of one's son, but to elevate it at the end of the episode, he sings this song that's going to leave you in tears.
Yep.
And we find out that he's celebrating his son's birthday, and his son had died. And it was also to make it worse that at the time the original voice actor had died.
Yeah.
And so it was a commemorative episode, and the song is commemorated to the original voice actor. They butchered that.
Totally butchered it. Well, they told you the problem was with this thing. They had the foresight of knowledge of the other seasons, so they thought they were going to be clever and give you Easter eggs in the first season about all the major plot points for all the characters for the second season and third season. So we already knew, and we saw Liu Ten's funeral in the in the first season. So we already knew, like we've already, like this, it never hit you the way it hit you when it was supposed to.
Though the reason that the song, the build up to it was special is because we didn't fully know. We knew that something bad had happened. It's gently alluded to that his son died, but it's not until that moment where he says happy birthday to his son,
Soldier Boy,
and it's tragic.
Home. Yeah.
And this show keeps telling us that his son is dead. They keep, like you just said, they showed this at the funeral already. He talks about it. He talks about it with Zuko.
Oh, the way he talks about Zuko, when he's just like, I'm trying to turn you into the man that I wanted Liu Ten to be. I'm like, why are we going further into this?
Why are we telling and not showing, Marv? Why are we telling and not showing why?
Because these are terrible writers. Terrible.
And so, but also just to finish off this point, because of how egregious it is, when they actually like play the jingle, because they don't actually play the full song, it's on top of, Iroh puts out a picture of his son very similarly to like trying to match the animation, but the scene is not him saying happy birthday to his deceased son. It's Iroh reaffirming himself that he is now going to become a guy to look out for the city.
Yep.
So they put him on an arc instead of revealing what this character's actual backstory was in one of the most sad ways imaginable, the most heartbreaking ways imaginable. They rug pull any attachment you have to the character.
Speaking of, so one other thing we have to talk about with this Wizard, because like I said, Iroh is the least of our problems, I think, but you're right, that was egregious. I think the most egregious miscast in the entire thing is this right here. Now look, I'm not here to make comments on beauty or judge people who, whatever, but they do not look like the characters.
They also don't feel like the characters. They don't play like the characters.
Never once. Azula.
That's the problem.
Azula takes over Ba Sing Se in the cartoon by just through subterfuge and intimidation. In this, she full on kills all the military commanders. Like the way she plays Long Feng in the cartoon is brilliant, to the point where he's in jail and you had that one Dai and he was like, oh, the Fire Nation princess is terrifying and incredible. She never has to throw a single fireball to take over Ba Sing Se. Not one. And in this, she's lightning shocking all of the like she's she's threatening to kill Long Feng. None of that ever happened. Ever. And putting Azula, Ty Lee, and May in the first season was a big mistake. Because Azula has the most perfect introduction in the first episode of season 2. When she has when that guy comes up to her and he goes, well, princess, the tides will not allow us to dock when we're supposed to. And she goes, I'm sorry, Commander, I know little of these matters. Do the tides command this ship? And he goes, well, no. And he goes, if I throw you off this ship, will the tides think twice about smashing your body against the rocks? Well, no, princess. Huh. Okay. So maybe you should worry about less about the tides that have already made their mind about killing you, and worry more about me, who's still mulling it over. Like, that is the most, that told you everything you had to know about who this character was. This is just like, I'm the Fire Lord's daughter, and I'm a prodigy. May and Ty Lee kill each other.
This Azula plays like she's a Reddit narcissist.
Yeah. By the way, Ty Lee looks exactly like Ty Lee. I think she's fine.
I don't think she's acting. I don't think the acting chops are there with these characters.
I would have assumed they would have gotten some kind of contortionist or gymnast to be Ty Lee, so that she could constantly be walking on her hands and but they don't do any of that.
There is something to be said about all of the casting here. And now, all right, I call this out from when we go season to season, right? We get season 1. Maybe you're new to acting. Maybe you're a child star, a child prodigy, and you're picking up these legacy characters. Mm-hmm. Well, there's going to be people online that point out that you're not that good. You're not that good. You're not living up to the characters you embody. Now, Marv, there is a big gap between when season 1 ends production and when season 2 starts production. So much so that there's years in between on this show. Mm-hmm. And none of these kids took acting lessons.
I will say Azula plays the character way different in season 2 than she did in season 1. But it never comes off as like a natural portrayal of Azula. It comes off as somebody trying to act like animated Azula, like trying to do an impersonation.
She's impersonating, yeah. She's attempting to poorly impersonate the animation.
Like May is supposed to be a human eye roll, she's supposed to be above it all and just whatever. This girl was none of that. May is there to look like the way this girl looks, because they dropped this girl into the middle of this show, gave no thought to her to her character, dangled her in front of the camera and said, I dare you to say something, chuds. That's what she's there for.
I don't see it. But I don't see it with any of them. I don't see it with anybody. I think Katara's terrible. The only one on the crew that has improved even slightly happens to be Zuko, and not by much.
Yeah,
He's the only one that's a little bit better.
I don't hate Sokka, and I actually like Suki in this. I like that they made Suki like a little like I don't like that they involved Suki a lot more in this than they did previously. Like Suki is not supposed to be like there when they fight Azula in the street. But
you mean like the refugees that follow them around from episode to episode to episode?
When they were like, hey, well, we got Abed from Community as the Mechanist. Well, the Mechanist isn't in season 2. Yeah, but we got this guy. So how about we make him follow them around? Also, we're going to create a number of stunning and brave women of color to put into this show because there's not enough stunning and brave women of color. What do you mean? This is like, half the cast is stunning and brave women of color. Yeah, but it would really need to be more than half. That's basically what happened. Because they invent some Earth Kingdom general lady.
Yes, they do. I was going to say that. Yeah, they invented an Earth Kingdom general lady.
And they invented a girlfriend for the Mechanist.
To foil the other character. To have balance.
Long Fang.
As all things should be. They needed the balance.
Yes, the evil male Long Fang was taking over the city, and then the good female general was trying to protect the city.
Marv, I have a series of short notes I'd like to read through here to get your insight on.
Please.
So here we go. Last Airbender season 2. First one, my feelings. This show is constantly going over my feelings.
Oh, yeah.
How they feel. They're constantly talking about their feelings. They're always telling and not showing. And that brings us to constant exposition. Telling, not showing takes a long time to explain things that were done in 2 minutes in the animation. This show is trying to remake perfection. That is not going to work.
Yeah.
This show is CGI slop with a heavy over-reliance on CGI. Poorly done CGI. Expensive, but poorly done.
Mm-hmm.
Zuko's acting, as I said, slightly better. The acting for everybody, though, is still terrible. Each of these episodes is more than 2 complete episodes of the animation, and the animation is
at least
superior
3
in every way.
At least 3.
Yeah, it's actually 3. You're right. It's at least 3. Episode 1 is 47 minutes of talking without actually saying anything.
What? I don't even remember what they do in episode. Oh, it was when he finds Boomy, but you couldn't put I hate Boomy in this, by the way. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm also like, why are the Earthbenders Indian?
That's a really great question for Hollywood.
So I don't remember anything else that happens in the first episode, other than he meets Boomy in a jail cell.
Are there any white guys in this at all?
No, 0.0.
0 white guys. I mean, okay, but that means there's no white women either.
Correct.
Oh, yes. The action suffers from what I call, and many online have called, Wanda hands. You know, the Wanda hands from Marvel with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
She's constantly doing the fake magic hands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. And then we've already talked about Ruins leaves from the vine by constantly reminding us that Lu Ten is dead. Constantly telling and not showing. Appa barely in it is extremely noticeable. Appa and Momo are barely in it.
When they go over the Serpent's Pass, when I'm like, why couldn't you just all take turns flying over on Appa? Because the Serpent's Pass, you're supposed to go over the Serpent's Pass because you don't have Appa!
Right. But that's the other thing. It's as if they took the story, chopped it into segments, and then dumped it on the floor, and then like shifted until all of the plot realigned.
Okay,
again.
well,
You know
what
I mean?
what if we put the library in Ba Sing Se and do Jet's death in the library? By the way, did you also get like gay coded moments when Sokka meets the scholar?
A little bit.
Like when they shake hands and there's like that pause, I was like, oh, this is going to launch 1,000 TikToks.
Yeah. Well, no, because the scholar didn't last that long.
Yeah, no, the scholar betrays them, which was really fascinating.
Which was that was a choice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the library then, because the library was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
The library has the thing that happens in this show that made me the most angry. This thing right here.
Yeah.
Finding my life entertaining? Who are you? Kyoshi.
Why is this show? First of all, how can Kyoshi talk to Toph? But why is this show so obsessed with Kyoshi?
Because the fans like Kyoshi. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Kyoshi's gay.
Yes, I've read the books. Kyoshi is gay. Kyoshi is a 7 foot
Kyoshi's
tall
gay, and
lesbian.
that's
yeah.
And look, I know people really like Kyoshi, and she's a good character in the books, and that's fine. But like, that's why you can't have Avatar Roku be anything in this.
The books are good. So I'm reading the Avatar Roku book now. I read the first one and I thought it was fine. The second book, it's Avatar Roku. I haven't gotten too far into it. A trans character showed up, and I was like, I don't know if I want to read this because I understand what this is now. Like,
yeah, I look as soon as season 3 ended for me, I'm like, and I started hearing inklings about what Korra was. I'm like, no.
how much you want to bet we never get the Avatar Roku like history lesson episode in the third season, because Avatar Roku's not in this season at all. I don't know if I think maybe the guy who played Roku might have died or something, because he was like an old guy.
I don't know about that. Look, it's extremely important that they have the Roku episode because it's going to show how he failed. They need that in order to
shows how the war starts. They'll connect it to Yang Chen and Kyoshi somehow. Because Yang Chen is the other one that they love. They love Yang Chen.
And she's got a really rough wig.
Oh, what with the worst really bald cap wig I've ever seen in my life.
This is a bald cap, man.
Yep. Okay, so here's another thing. I was like, did the casting directors who casted young Azula and young Zuko actually see the actors that play the older versions of them? They're not even the right kind of Asian.
Not even close.
I showed this to my wife, and she was just like, what? She's like, Zuko's like Korean, and this kid is like I don't know if he's Filipino or if he's like Cambodian, but they are not the same thing. It's like if you would have had like a Hispanic character, and they were like, let's show him as a child, and it's a black kid.
That's exactly what it is.
It's
okay.
Hollywood believes all Asians are interchangeable.
You know, that's just it. Yeah. It's all Asians are interchangeable.
Like when Seth Rogen made Master Splinter or Jackie Chan.
Yeah. It's like for me, I think I could if I got into Hollywood, I could get cast in Asian roles.
Oh, definitely. So this is from season 1, but this is the moment where I knew that this show was in trouble. This right here.
Oh yeah, he's flying.
Yep, but look, so people were arguing this with me online. They're like, he's gliding. I'm like, no, he's flying.
He's flying.
Like the creators in their show Bible actually had it written that he was never to fly around like Peter Pan. This is literally Peter Pan.
That's literally Peter Pan.
And especially because it actually makes what happens in Korra. I don't know. Did you ever even watch Korra?
I won't.
So Korra has a couple of good moments in it, but it's all surrounded by nonsense. Zahir, who is the airbending villain in the 3rd season, he can fly. Because there's this thing with airbenders where like there's a certain level that you can reach where it's like you step into the void and become air and you can just fly. And it's something that like only like one other airbender had ever mastered, and so Zahir ends up doing it. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, well that's wrong. That goes entirely against the lore. And people are like, he's gliding. I'm like, no, he's flying. He's 100%
he's lifting off the ground himself. He's not gliding.
Yeah, he's not gliding.
He's flying.
He paused in midair and then went up vertically. Like, that's not gliding. He also has a glider to do that. So wait, that means you've never seen the Avatar Wan episode?
I'm done, dude. When it ends,
so here's
I'm happy.
I'm gonna find you a thing that cuts out all of like the in-between scenes and just shows you the Avatar Wan flashback.
The first Avatar?
Yes, he's the first Avatar, and his story is phenomenal. Like it's the best thing they've ever done. Like its
Really?
first 3 seasons good. His story is so essentially like there are 4 lion turtle cities, one for each element, and like the humans live on the back of the lion turtles, and to go into the spirit wilds to like hunt, the lion turtle will give them the power of the element. And so they go in. Juan gets banished from his lion turtle city for stealing, and he stole the fire element, and the lion turtle lets him keep it. So he becomes friends with the spirit in the spirits in the spirit wilds, and then he finds these 2 spirits like wrestling each other. One is this light spirit named Rava, and the other is this dark spirit named Vatu, and it looks like Rava is like basically like about to kill Vatu, and he stops them, and Vatu gets away, and you find out that like these are the 2 ancient spirits of light and darkness, and the harmonic convergence is coming when the planets are all going to align, and they have to battle for supremacy, and whichever one wins will control the planet for the next 10,000 years. So Juan ends up going to the other lion turtle cities. He ends up getting the other elements from the lion turtles to try to stop Vatu, and he works with Rava, who passes through him to give him a new element. So he can only have one at a time. And then when he has to actually like stop like people and spirits from trying to fight, Rava like fuses with him, and he goes into the avatar state for the first time and like uses all 4 elements. But then when he fights Vatu, like Rava can't stay in his body for too long or he'll die. When he fights Vatu, he actually touches the cosmic energy of the convergence, and it bonds them forever. And that's what creates the avatar. And
so the avatar is light merged with the elements, merged with a human.
Merged with a human soul, yeah. And becomes the bridge between human and spirit world. And you find out why he's the bridge between. It's actually really good. Like, I'm like, what is this doing in this show?
Oh, well, I mean, that's great. And then they kill the avatar permanently.
Well, yeah, then they start a new avatar line in that season, actually.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
because Rava gets ripped out of Korra, and she has to rebond with her, so it starts the avatar line again. But yeah, you're right.
Which means Aang is permadead.
And apparently the next Avatar show is it's going to be like 2 twin female avatars or something like that.
Oh, beautiful. And Korra's the only avatar.
The only avatar that'll guide them, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yep. So girls get it done. I bet you all avatars from here on out are all girls. They also recast the entire cast, voice cast for this Avatar movie because, they weren't Asian, so they had to all be Asian.
Of course, as one does.
Look at this. Someone said if someone told me this was AI, I would believe them. And look at this scene. It really does look like it's AI.
It does look like it's AI.
Also, why is Suki there? Instead of them all just like firing their element, because Iroh and Zuko are supposed to be there too, but of course Azula's got to fight.
Marv, after seeing The Furious in theaters, every fight scene I see after that is dog shit.
It's like
this looks terrible to me after seeing The Furious.
Yep, 100%. I agree with you.
That is how good that movie was. That movie has changed my perception of action sequences.
Which, by the way, I would like to point out also, they recast everybody from the original voice actors for not being Asian, except Zuko is Asian. That actor is Filipino. So
Dante Basco. Yeah.
So I don't even want to see this movie that's going to come out. I want nothing to do with this going forward. It's terrible. It's awful.
We're working on a fake Wizards review video, but man, I hate everything about this show.
I've been thinking about trying to do a review article for geeksandgamers.com, but I might just make this a criticless one just because I can't sink this much time into this show. Like, it's so terrible.
We've been going through, and my brother has been writing down every inconsistency or every plot thing that they've changed between the originals, because he's like a lore master on Avatar.
Yeah.
I love it, but I've only seen it once. He's seen it a few times, and he's like, "That's not how they did that. That's not how they did that. They changed that. They changed that. They changed that."
Well, so I know that in the first season, I got really annoyed because Katara doesn't learn from Master Paku; she teaches herself. So they still have the duel with Master Paku, but he doesn't take her as a student. And of course, Master Paku does not teach Aang to so much as make a ripple in the water, because it has to be entirely Katara who teaches him.
This is as we're getting close to the end of our discussion here on this one, but there's something to be said about this is a copy of a copy of a copy, and truly this is made for second screen viewing of normie adults that are barely paying attention, and it completely diminishes the source material. It devalues the source material because people don't understand they're missing out on excellence.
Yes, 100%. Look at I believe this to be true, but I don't know if it's for true, but I believe it. Midnight 7 says the little Avatar girl also has a prosthetic leg. No,
I vaguely remember that. Does the next Avatar have a prosthetic leg?
Of course, it's a girl again.
Yes, according to early reports and leaks surrounding the upcoming animated series, Avatar 7 Havens, the next Earth Avatar, reportedly named Pavi, is an amputee missing her lower left leg.
Oh, just incredible, man! Just incredible. All right, so there you guys go. This show was dog crap. Don't watch it. And yeah, if you like the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, do yourself a favor, skip this one. All right, we gotta get back to the chat, and then get heading out because Pro's about to start. E-Millennial over on your channel.
E-Millennial for 199 says, "You think JB will go on a date with me if I woo her?"
JB.
I don't remember. Who's JB?
I don't know.
I don't know who JB is. Who'd we talk? Who'd we talk about?
It's probably during our Supergirl discussion, right? Or
that's what I thought of. I don't. I would be careful. That's all I would say, and be respectful. Be respectful.
Bonnie Gamester, formerly known as Old Lady Gamester, formerly known as Lady Gamester, member for 3 months, says Wizard would know how to turn the other cheek.
Yes, I talked about that in a recent video. The lore behind that. Yeah,
excellent. Spring 91 Bear for 2 says, "Papa, can you hear me?" So there you go. Doge Pal for 2 says, "Reminder: DC Animation's a shadow of its past self, and still better than the movies." But James Gunn is also overseeing animation now too. So
James Gunn is also a shadow of his past self.
Yes. Doge Pal again for 2 says Avatar also has something good since OG series ended. Agreed. 100% agreed.
Yeah.
So they've also nerfed the Fire Lord too, by the way. I forgot to bring that up.
Oh, because they keep bringing him on screen.
They keep bringing him on screen, and they keep giving him compassionate moments where he seems to want to see Zuko.
Because they don't want to let him just be a villain. They're trying to humanize him. I don't know why.
Because
I don't know why.
Because the whole world is ugly as you.
More morally gray nonsense, man.
Morally gray nonsense. All right, Wizard. We're about to end the show. Anything else you wanted to bring up?
I mean, that's pretty much it here for me, man. We got reviews dropping on the Fake Wizards channel basically every day. We're gonna have a new video going up, so check that out. We have the entire calendar virtually mapped out for the whole rest of the year. That's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of work happening over there at Fake Wizards, not real life Fake Wizards. Fake Wizards. Also coming in right at the end here, Marv, if you could pull this up.
Oh.
We just got Robin 10 gifted 5 Fake Wizards Live memberships. Thank you for that, Rob. Turning the chat a little more green. Appreciate that. And yeah, man, we got eventually I'm working on a video for the Real Life Fake Wizard channel. I was hoping to have it out today, but it was a pile of crap, and I'm just not going to put out anything that's not great. No matter how much it's going to kill me.
I'm also working on a video right now about James Gunn's DC Universe for the M4 Empire. About halfway done with it, so it should be out tomorrow morning. I could probably knock it out tonight. But yeah, make sure you guys check out my channel. Make sure you check out Wizard's channel. One more for you, Wizard.
Oh, Robin 10 for it too says, don't forget to like the stream. Yes,
don't forget.
Wherever you're watching, like the stream. We appreciate that very, very much.
All right. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Wizard, you want to close us out?
Yes, my friends, until next time, create, innovate, inspire others to do as well, and cancel Disney Plus and probably Netflix after this.
Please, Netflix.
Crossfire, fan the fandom flame. Crossfire.